Hi, I'm Cyndi Pitonyak, Technical Assistance Associate with VCU-ACE. I would like to share with you some ideas for how to sneak some meaningful instruction and practice of functional skills into your everyday routines at home. I'm hoping this will be helpful to you during this time of at-home learning. We usually think of functional skills as things like dressing, making beds, fixing a sandwich, those basic skills of daily life, right? Let's step back and take a little wider view of functional skills for a moment. Let's look at why we teach them in the first place, why we teach anything in school for that matter. I think all of us hope for our children that the things they learn will prepare them to the greatest extent possible for a self-determined future. That means that what we teach them will prepare them to join the workforce or continue their education, to pursue a meaningful life of their own choosing, and to contribute to the wider community. A self-determined future is, of course, what we want for our children. It's what we want for ourselves. So let's take a look at 3 skills areas where routines at home can really make a difference. The first skills area is self-direction, having independence and autonomy. That means doing things and making decisions for yourself. The second skills area is relationships, making and maintaining connections with other people, special people or kids your own age, without an extra adult hanging around. And the third skills area is citizenship. This area actually has 2 parts. The first part of citizenship is doing things as a member of a group, and the second part is making a contribution or helping others in some way. These are the basic skills needed for that self-determined future. And because they are such fundamental aspects of daily life for all of us, it is actually pretty easy to give your child regular opportunities to learn and practice them within your daily routine. It just means thinking about the things that you're doing every day and structuring your routine a little to provide these opportunities. Let's focus first on self-direction, having independence and autonomy, doing things and making decisions for yourself. Look for regular opportunities throughout the day for your child to practice self-direction. What are some regular things that your child can learn or practice doing independently without help from you? If your child typically needs a lot of support, self-direction may be a new skill, so you need to keep this short and simple. Take the self-care routine of dressing, for example. Getting dressed independently may appear to be out of reach for your child at the moment. When you imagine working on this, you may envision a process that would take a long time, with a huge amount of prompting from you, and possibly a lot of resistance from your child. We don't want to go there. But anything your child gets support from you to do can be turned into a team effort, with your child having small, regular parts that she learns to do on her own. You do your part, your child does her part in getting dressed. Your child's part might be picking out clothes, or selecting which t-shirt from a couple of choices, or picking which item of clothing to put on next. It may be pulling the t-shirt down after you put it over her head, or holding out her feet for shoes, first one, then the other. This concept of turning a task that requires support into a team effort is called assisted competence. The key here will be to break the task down into parts, with some parts for you and some parts for your child to do. Keep your child's parts short and simple. Do the task the same way each time to allow your child to learn the routine, and make sure to pause for your child to do her part. This may take some teaching or a visual prompt at first, but the keys to success will be keeping it short, simple, doing it the same way each time, and celebrating success. Chores are great opportunities for self-direction, and the goal doesn't have to be a big one, like cleaning up from a meal. Ask yourself, what part of the cleanup could my child do independently and with autonomy? Gathering up the silverware and putting it in the sink? Wiping down the table? Putting in the dish soap? Pushing the button to start the dishwasher? Short and simple. Follow the same routine each time and celebrate success. The important thing here is independence and autonomy. This little part is your child's job, and she can learn to do it on her own. It's not a made up job, it's a necessary part of the task. Every person, regardless of the intensity of their support needs, can learn to practice self direction. The second skills area that is key to that self determined future is relationships. Human beings need relationships, especially for kids with high support needs. Relationships can become very limited, with most interactions being with the primary caregiver. The question to ask here is, what can my child do on a regular basis to establish or deepen her relationships with someone other than her primary caregiver, other than with me? At school, we'd be thinking about other children her age. In this time when everyone is staying at home, we might be thinking about siblings, a neighbor, a relative, even a parent who's not typically the primary caregiver. Again, keep it short and simple. Make it something regular and something that your child and the other person can truly enjoy together. It might be reading a story, snuggling under a blanket and watching a short video, making and eating a snack, swinging in the backyard. The important thing is that this is special time for your child and the other person. It happens on a regular, predictable schedule, like every night just after supper or every Saturday morning. Just as you did with creating self-direction opportunities, you may need to provide a little instruction or a visual support to get things going and establish the routine. But the goal is for you as the caregiver to back out of this time and let the focus be your child and the other person without you. It can be short, and it should be a positive experience for everyone involved. Don't let it last until one person gets tired and wants to stop. Try to limit the time so that your child and the other person both look forward to doing it again, even if the time is very short in the beginning. You may have to keep tweaking for a while to find the right kind of activity and the right person, but once the relationship begins to grow, you back out and let it evolve. If the best options for relationship development like this are outside your home in this time of physical distancing, you may need to start with an activity that can be done from a distance. Sharing a story through teleconferencing, listening to a song over the phone with someone, exchanging video messages, exchanging drawings or photos by drop-off or mail. It may take a little creativity now if you're working with those outside your home, but hopefully you're building a relationship that can continue when things get back to normal. A third area that is key to that self-directed future is citizenship. As I mentioned earlier, citizenship has two parts. First, as citizens, we are expected to do things in groups, attend events, wait in line, share public spaces like parks or sidewalks, eat in restaurants. In this time of staying at home due to COVID-19 restrictions, group activities may have to be those that are done in our homes with our families. The question is, when and how can my child be a participating member of a group on a regular basis? Make regular time in your routine, if you don't have this time already, when your family does something together as a group. Again, keep it short, simple, and positive, especially if this is a new skill for your child. Maybe you make ice cream sundaes every Sunday afternoon, or have pizza delivered on Wednesdays. Go for a walk around the block or shoot a few baskets together. Gather together for a family movie night once a week, or just all carry your dishes to the sink together after a meal. The activity doesn't really matter. The point is that all of you do it together. The focus is for your child not to be the center of attention, but to be just a member of the group. So make sure to select an activity that everyone either enjoys doing or just agrees to do together, not for your child's sake, but because it's fun or because it needs to be done. That's what this aspect of citizenship is all about. The second part of citizenship is making a contribution, helping others in some way. It is demeaning to anyone to always be the person who needs help all of the time. Make sure your child has regular opportunities to help others. Being the helper is a critical role that we all need to fill. It is a fundamental aspect of self-esteem. Everyone needs to help others sometimes. What could this role be for your child? I have an adolescent friend with very significant support needs whose helper role in his family is being the comforter when someone is not feeling well or is upset or hurt. This role in the family is important to my friend, and it has grown over the years. It started with his just bringing a blanket and covering up anyone who wanted a nap or some sofa time. Now he's great at bringing and adjusting pillows, offering a cool drink. He can get a Band-Aid quickly if someone needs one, offer a hug or a tissue when someone is upset, or even just let someone else in the house know that someone needs help. His whole family values the help and comfort that my friend provides. Keep to the rules. Short, simple, positive. Something that can be done regularly and that will truly be appreciated. If helping others is a new role for your child, some instruction like a social story or visual support may be necessary. Don't forget about assisted competence. Your child's helping role could be a team effort if needed. The important thing is to keep it real, do it regularly, and let your child experience real appreciation from others for his help. We all need this. During this time of physical distancing required by the current health crisis, you may find it best to create a helping role for your child in your home. But this is also a time when lots of people need help. Checking in on an isolated friend or neighbor, riding along to pick up and drop off groceries, helping to make masks, painting special rocks and hiding them along walking trails for others to find. There are lots of safe possibilities for helping these days. While being isolated at home as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic is a huge challenge that every family is dealing with now, this can still be a time of learning and growth for your child. We are all creating new routines these days. Keep opportunities for self-direction, relationships, and citizenship in yours. These fundamental features of a self-determined life are good for all of us. For more resources you can use at home during this unusual time, go to VCU-AutismCenter.org.